What's up, everybody? We're here in the Apollo Beach Community Garden. It's May in Florida. Your tomatoes are probably turning red. Your peppers are probably popping. And you probably have a massive wave of bugs moving in on the way into your backyard. So today we're going to talk about 5 pests that will ruin Florida gardens this month in May. This includes a brand new invasive threat that IFAS just released an alert about. So kind of important. Most people see a bug and immediately they just reach for these crazy heavy chemicals, try to kill everything in the garden with sprays. I think the only way to save their garden is literally like the scorched earth method. But there's so many other ways that you can actually control pests in the garden that are a lot more beneficial. So the real truth is that spray is actually making your pest problems worse for the most part. For most of these bugs, honestly, the best solution is the lazy one. And I really like that. I'm a lazy kind of gardener. So I'm going to show you how to identify the bad guys and how to keep the good guys working for you for free all summer long. Starting with pest number 1, aphids, really 2 of them, aphids and fire ants. Ants are kind of like the ranchers. If you see aphids on your milkweed or your eggplant, look down. You'll probably see a bed of ants towards the bottom of that plant. You see, ants, they actually farm the aphids. They like to drink the sweet juice that the aphids poop out. Ladybugs, on the other hand, will eat your aphids. Those are good. The lazy fix is just stop trying to kill every aphid with like a soapy spray. It's easiest just to take a garden hose, blast them off, squish them with your fingers. That's the most practical approach. Not a lot of people like to squish them. But once you take care of the aphids, focus on the ants. Keep your soil nice and moist. You can use organic ant baits out there as well. But one of the best mixtures I've found to kill ants in the garden is just a simple sugar, water, and borax mixture in like a little small plastic container. I usually use a mix like 3 tablespoons of borax per cup of sugar. And then I just add just enough water to turn it into a thick paste. And I just stab some holes into the bottom of that plastic container and bury it at the bottom of bury about half of the container at the bottom of the plant there. What happens is the ants eat it and it disrupts their digestion and eventually just kills the colony. You can also try sprinkling things like cinnamon, cayenne, or black pepper around the base of your plants to discourage ants from making a home there. Okay, moving on to the next point, the short-spined thrips. This is the IFAS alert. This is one that you need to watch out for. IFAS just put out an alert for the short-spined thrip. It's a tiny, dark bug that looks kind of like maybe a grain of black pepper, but a little bit longer. But if your pepper leaves are looking like burned, curled, maybe scarred, you might have them. These have been classified as an invasive pest since 2020, and they are becoming a bigger and bigger issue here in Florida. But here's the secret to handling these guys. These thrips are obsessed with the color blue. Kind of weird, but the laziest way to catch them is to hang blue sticky traps, not those traditional yellow ones. Look for the blue ones. This means no spraying required. Also, if a plant looks really bad, don't try to save it. Just cut off the ugly parts, put them in a trash bag far away from your garden, throw them away. This keeps the colony from spreading to your whole garden. So you might have to sacrifice a plant, but it'll save the rest. Cool. Let's talk about the leaf-footed bug. This is where most gardeners actually make a pretty big mistake. You might see a group of red, spidery looking kind of bugs on your tomatoes. These are leaf-footed bug babies, and they will ruin your fruit. But they look almost exactly like the assassin bug, which is actually a good guy in the garden that eats pests. So how do you tell the difference? It's pretty subtle, but look at the back legs. If the legs have a little leafy flare on them, they're bad. If the legs are thin, leave them. For the bad guys, though, the leaf-footed bugs, don't spray. Just carry a bucket of soapy water and flick them in. It's faster and way cheaper. Okay, moving to the next pest, caterpillars. May is the month of the hungry caterpillar. You'll see hornworms on your tomatoes, armyworms on your greens. But the one that really breaks my heart in Florida is the pickleworm. These are moths of the night. They lay eggs on your squash, your cucumbers, and once the larva patches, it's going to drill a hole into your fruit and it's game over. It rots from the inside out. Since we aren't using heavy chemicals to damage or to handle this, here are a few ways to handle these guys. You can use a fine mesh netting to cover your squash and cucumbers at sunset. You have to be sure to remove them in the morning though, because you want the bees to come pollinate. This does take the most work, but it's pretty effective. You could use a spray. BT is a organic spray that kills the bee caterpillars after they eat it. It is a spray, but it's pretty soft. It only kills caterpillars. But my favorite is to plant a sacrificial crop. Plant something that they're going to land on and just let them eat it. But with all of these, a good thing to do is daily sanitation, meaning cutting off infested leaves, flowers, anything like that that prevents the spread. Okay? The last point. This is the best one, the morning walk. It's the secret to being a lazy gardener. It's a 5-minute morning walk through your garden. Just take your cup of coffee, walk through your rows, and look under the leaves, and either hand pick or squash these things. Maybe you don't want to squash them, you don't want to touch them, use a strong jet of water. If you catch these 5 pests now in May, you won't be fighting a war in July when it's 95 degrees out. Gardening in Florida doesn't have to be a battle against nature. If you use these simple, lazy fixes, your garden will actually start to take care of itself. If you just kill everything, it throws your whole garden out of balance. Having pests isn't the end of the world. Nature will find a way to balance itself. When you have pests, this is food for the good bugs. And the good bugs will come if you give them reasons to, just like the bad bugs. The bad bugs are going to find things to eat, so are the good bugs. So we've covered the ants, the thrips, and how to tell your friends from your enemies. If you want to make sure you're planting the right things to attract those good bugs I talked about, I put together a Florida summer guide. It lists exactly what you should be planting in summer in Florida right now to help you get growing in this time where most gardeners just pack it in. So if you found this video helpful, hit the like button so other Florida gardeners can see it. And if you are a brand new Florida gardener, I put together a guide that helps you understand when to plant and what to plant here in Florida. It's completely free. I'll put a link to that guide down below. I would happily send that to you if you're interested. So thanks. I hope this helped, and good luck growing in Florida.